We'll just throw it away. All right. We'll just throw it away. We're talking today, guys, about the rational root theorem. All right. I'm going to refer to it 100 times as P over Q. We use P over Q when we're trying to find the answers. We're trying to factor. We're trying to find the zeros. But we can't factor it in our traditional way. What P over Q is, it's called the rational root theorem. It's where P and Q are integers. P is factors of the constant, and Q is factors of the leading coefficient. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the factors of the constant, and you're going to divide it by factors of the leading coefficient. Why this is important that we're writing this out, guys, because for our class, the factors of the leading coefficient are always going to be 1. You're not going to have to deal with dividing or using synthetic division with fractions. So for our class, this number is always going to be 1. It's not always, but our class, we're only going to be using things that have the leading coefficient of your polynomial as 1. All right, so in it, what you're going to do here, we're going to answer the question 2 ways. Like just say, write this problem down, x squared plus 7x plus 10. All right, on your homework and on your quiz or your test, your quiz, whenever we have it, but on your homework for this web assign, you're going to be asked to answer this question 2 ways. You're going to be asked, what are the zeros? That means what does x equal? And you're going to be asked to write your answer in factored form. Okay, so if I was going to factor this, guys, what would the factored form be? What times what gives me a positive 10 when I multiply, but a positive 7 when I add? So x plus 5, x plus 2. So on WebAssign, when they say, give your answer in factored form, that's what they mean. They want, what did the parentheses look like before you set it equal to 0 and solved it? That's your factored form. When they say, what are the zeros, you would say x equals what? Negative 5, and x equals negative 2. These are the zeros. So just be aware of what the question is asking and how they're asking it. When they want something in factored form, they mean, what does the parenthesis look like before you set it equal to 0? Okay? All right, I have 4 examples I want to do, and then that's it. If you're finding the rational zeros, that means how many x's do I have, first of all? How many should I have?
3.
Y, 3. Good, highest exponent is 3. So the first thing I would do is say, okay, I'm just going to try and factor it. Is there a GCF here? No. Can I factor this? Can I go like this and put an x in the front and then an x squared here and factor it? Can I say minus 2 minus 1? You guys are like, I don't know. Foil it. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 1 is minus x. Minus 2x squared plus 2. Does this equal that? No. So that's not the way to solve this problem. If you cannot factor it, you have to use the rational root theorem. You have to use P over Q. What that means is I take the P value, which is 2, put it over the Q value, which is always going to be 1. So I'm looking at the number 2. This is how we do this, guys. We're going to say, okay, what are the factors of 2? 1 and 2, right? I could have 2 pluses, 2 minuses, a combination of, so I need to put a plus minus in front. You're always going to put a plus minus to account for positive or negative. Now we're just going to use synthetic division until we get a remainder of what? 0. Once you get a remainder of 0, you know, oh wait, that's a factor. That one works. So I'm going to just try 1. So I have 1, negative 3, 0, and 2. Where did I get that 0 from? Did I put it in the right spot? No. Okay, come on, guys. Pay attention with me. I have 1, 0, negative 3, and 2, right? Okay, bring down your 1. What is 1 times 1? 1. What's 0 plus 1? 1. What's 1 times 1? 1. What's negative 3 and 1? Negative 2. What's negative 2 and 1? Negative 2. What's 2 and negative 2? 0. What did you guys just find out here? 1 works. So write down x equals 1. I found one of my answers. Now, by doing P over Q and using synthetic division, I have this now as my resulting polynomial. What is this? 1, 1, negative 2. What does that make as a polynomial? X squared plus x minus 2. Can you factor that? Are there factors of negative 2 that multiply to give you negative 2 but add to give you 1? Yep. X plus 2 and x minus 1. At that point, if you couldn't factor it, what formula would you have to use? The quadratic. Why can we use the quadratic? Because it's x squared. So your answer here is x equals negative 2 and x equals 1. How many answers did you say you were going to have at the beginning? 3. How many do we have? 3. So I'm going to answer this question 2 ways. I'm going to say, okay, my zeros, my x values are 1, 1, and negative 2, right? What do you notice about those answers? There's multiplicity. Good. These are my zeros. If they wanted you to write this in factored form, that means what did my parentheses look like before I got x equals? What did my 3 parentheses look like? X minus 1, x minus 1, and x plus 2. That's your factored form. When you take this and move it to the other side of the equal sign, your sign changes. So on WebAssign and on your quiz, you're probably going to be asked to answer questions different ways. Factored form means what did the parentheses look like? Zeros means what does x equal? Everybody with me? All right, let's do 3 examples, and then we're done. Exactly what we just did is what the slide says. Let's do our examples. All right, it says find all the zeros, then write the answers in factored form. All right, so look at number 1. Guys, before you jump to P over Q, try to factor it. Sometimes you might get one that you're like, oh, wait, there is a GCF. I can take it out and make my life easier. Is there a GCF here, though? No. Is this 3 terms that I can break it down to a trinomial? No. 4 terms that I can group? No. So we have to jump to P over Q. I look at that last term, my constant. I say, what are the factors of 8? I have to account for plus and minus. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now, some people like to, I'm going to try negative 2, see if it works. Then I'm going to try 4. Then I'm going to try negative 8. I don't think that's the best plan. I think it's best to start with 1. If 1 doesn't work, go to negative 1. Then go to 2, then negative 2. Because if you jump around, you might miss 1, or you just might waste time. So I'm just going to start with positive 1 and see if 1 is a factor. As soon as I see that my remainder is not going to be 0, move on to the next one. Don't waste time. So my coefficients are 1, 1, negative 6, negative 4, and 8. Did I miss anything? Okay. So bring down your 1. 1 times 1 is 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 6 and 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 and 1, whoops. Negative 4 and 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 is negative 8. Negative 8 and 1 is negative 8. What happens with 8, negative 8? Cancels out, 0. So what did you just find? X equals 1. How would I write that as a factor? Well, just x equals 1. How would I write that? X minus 1, right? All right, so what's left over? I should have 4 answers because I knew at the beginning it said x to the 4. So what is left over? How do I write my resulting polynomial? You guys were just saying it. X cubed, what? Plus 2x squared minus 4x minus 8 equals 0. Now you can jump right back into synthetic division if you want. But at this point I would say, wait a second. Can I factor this? Can I group it? What can I take out of the first parenthesis? X squared. And I'm left with x plus 2, correct? What can I take out of the second parenthesis? Negative 4. It leads with a negative, take it out. So I'm left with x plus 2. Do you guys notice now the new GCF? It's x plus 2. How many times do we write it? 1 time out in front. What happens with x squared minus 4? It gets its own parenthesis. Can I factor that a little more? To what? x plus 2x minus 2. Perfect. So what are my answers here? X equals -2, x equals -2, and x equals +2. Here are my 3 more x's. How many total should I have? 4. So if I go back up here and I say, okay, I have 4 x's. God bless you. I had x equals 1, -2, -2, and 2. So 2, -2, and -2. God bless you. I have 4 answers. Those are my 4 zeros. How would I write that in factored form? X minus 1, x minus 2, God bless you, x plus 2, and x plus 2. This is factored form. And these are my zeros. What do you guys notice about your answers? What do you have? Multiplicity. What's going to happen, God bless you, at x equals -2? The graph is going to bounce. Good? Good. All right, nothing new here, guys. It's just some stuff that we've done, and we're just putting it all together. All right, again, try to factor. GCF, no. If I group this, is this going to work? No. So I have to do P over Q. God bless you. Factors at 24. There's a lot of them. I have to account for plus minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. The likelihood of you having to do synthetic division 17 times is not high, okay? It's a little higher if you just say, I'm going to try 6. Now I'm going to try -3. Then I'm going to try 1. Some of you are shaking your head like, who would do that? Happens all the time. Because some people look at it and they're like, oh, I think I see 6 works. And then it doesn't, So it's better to have a plan. My plan is to start with 1. As soon as I see something doesn't work, I move on to the next one. There's no reason to waste time. So write out your coefficients. 1, 5, -2, and -24. Bring down your 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6 times 1 is 6. -2 and 6 is 4. Is this going to work? No. So go to the next one. No worries. So 1, 5, -2, -24. Bring down your 1. 1 times -1. -1. 5 and -1. 4. 4 and -1. -4. -2 and -4 is negative. Is this one going to work? No. Okay, no problem. Have we wasted a ton of time? No. Bring down your 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 and 2 is 7. 7 and 2 is -2 and 14 is 12. What's 12 and 2? 24. Guys, what's -24 and +24? 0. What did you just find? X equals 2. Write that down so it doesn't get lost and you forget about it. Now, what is your resulting polynomial? X squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Now, you can go to synthetic division. You can jump to the quadratic. Why would the quadratic work here? Because it's an x squared problem. But I would go ahead and just see. Could I factor this? Are there factors of 12 that multiply to give me a positive 12 but add to give me 7?
Yes, 4 and 3.
Plus 3 and plus 4. So x equals -3 and x equals -4. So my 3 x's are 2, -3, and -4. These are my zeros. When they say, what are the zeros, that would be your answer. If they say, write your answer in factored form, what would my 3 parentheses look like? X minus 2, I'm going to go in order. X plus 3, right? And x plus 4. Does everybody understand how we're getting the parentheses? You just take your 0 that you have, and when you move it to the other side of the equal sign, it changes signs. Does anyone have any questions? You guys are doing great. I have an assignment that you're going to start working on in class on Monday. Excuse me, and then you'll finish it for homework. All right, last one. Oh, Lord Jesus, help us. You guys are like, please let this group. Yeah? No. No, Lord. Now what does that mean? Do I write out the factors of 47? No, I write out the factors of 60. So I have plus minus. Remember, you have to count for positive and negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. A problem like this is why it's really important that you have a plan. Some people are like, I think 12 is going to work. Oh, wait, it doesn't. So let's try -5. Like, don't do that. Start with 1 and go. If it doesn't work, go to the next. You might have to do it a few times. It's no big deal. Let's start with 1. Positive 1. Let's just see if it works. 1, -12, 47, -60. Is this probably not going to work? Probably not, but just work out a little bit till you know for sure. 1 times 1 is 1. -12 and 1 is -11. -11 and 1 is -11. 47 minus 11 is 36. Is this going to work? No. Okay, go to the next one. -1. So 1, -12, 47, -60. Bring down your 1. 1 times -1 is -1. -12 and -1 is -13. -13 and -1 is 13. Ooh, 47 and 13 is 60. 60 times -60. Does that? No. Oh, I thought we were on to something, right? All right, let's try 2. 1, -12, 47, and -60. 1 times 2 is 2. -12 and 2 is -10. -10 and 2 is -20. 47 minus 20 is going to be 20. No, is this going to work? Nope. Okay, -2. Did I do something wrong? 1, -12, 47, -60. Guys, I promise I will not give you a problem like this with all of these factors and none of them work. I promise. So 1 times -2 is -2. -12 and -12 and -2 is -14. -14 and -2 is 28. Is this going to give us -60? No? Okay. Let's see if I broke my promise. Go to 3. 1, -12, 47, -60. Bring down your 1. 1 times 3 is 3. -12 and 3 is -9. -9 and 3 is -27. What's 47 minus 27? 20. What's 20 times 3? 60. What do we find? Whew. X equals 3. I didn't know if that was going to work or not. Now, what do we have left over? X squared minus 9x plus 20. Should we just go ahead and do synthetic division again? No. Check to see if this factors. Does it? Are there factors of positive 20? That'll give me a -9 when I add. Well, I'll be darned. X minus 5 and x minus 4 gives me a -9 when I add and a positive 20. So I have 2 other x's here. It's 5 and 4. So the 2 ways that we would write out our answer. If they say, what are the zeros? You would say x equals 3, 4, and 5, right? Okay. Those are my zeros. What is my answer in factored form? What would my parentheses look like? X minus 3, x minus 4, and x minus 5. Perfect. Perfect. Good job. Do we have to do synthetic division a bit? Yeah, that's all right. Nothing major, nothing you guys can handle. So in class on Monday, Monday will be dedicated to you guys working on this. Not anything else. You're going to be working on this. I'm here to help. I will guide you in anything you need. It'll be due on Tuesday, and then we'll move on to something else.